In this video, I'll uncover how to build muscle while intermittent fasting. Hi ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Zarowski and welcome back to the channel. Now if you're new to the channel, it is a pleasure to have you here. Be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification, and join our notification community so I can help you excel your health and your life. In this video, I'm going to uncover how to build muscle with intermittent fasting. Some people think it can't be done, but I'm here to tell you that someone who has done this for over 10 years, it certainly can be done. And I've seen so many people, not only myself, but also people I've worked with in my clinic, be able to really get the same results that I have. And so when we look at building muscle with intermittent fasting, it's very powerful because you're able to build lean muscle and really cut that fat off your body as well. And this is something that many different celebrities, many different famous actors use in order to maintain a lot of muscle mass and stay lean year round. Let's dive into this topic. So the reason this works so well is, first of all, is because the fasting is muscle sparing. So when you're in the fasted state, your body is not going to break down those muscles for energy. It's going to break down fat for energy. So it's very powerful. So what that essentially means is that you're mobilizing those fatty acids, and when you're mobilizing those fatty acids, you're burning all that fat off your body that you don't otherwise want. And so that is one of the reasons it's so powerful, and it allows people to actually go and get the results they want. Not too many people want to build muscle and fat at the same time. Most people just want to actually build muscle. So using intermittent fasting along with some weight training is very powerful for doing this. It's going to boost growth hormone. There's different studies out there that show women who fasted and trained at the same time essentially were able to boost their growth hormones upwards of 1,300%, and in men upwards of 2,000%. So when you combine that training, that weight training, and you combine fasting, you're going to boost that growth hormone. It's going to help with tissue repair. It's going to help with recovery. It's going to help with better results. It's going to help with just anti-aging, everything. So that's powerful in so many different ways there. And lastly here, like I mentioned earlier, you're going to be able to gain lean mass and lose fat, okay? This is something that most people are trying to do, is gain muscle or maintain muscle and lose the fat. Let's talk about a quick study here. In the Journal of Translational Medicine, there was an 8-week study. What they did is they took these participants and they were training 3 days per week. Now, there were 34 men. They broke them into 2 groups. Now, these men had already been training before, so they knew what they were doing, but there were 34 men. They broke them into 2 groups. There was an intermittent fasting group and then the regular diet group. The regular diet group, they were just eating when they wanted to. The intermittent fasting group, they were specific to 16 and 8 intermittent fasting. So during this study, during that 8-week period, the groups consumed same calories, same protein, they had the same types of diet. Now, what they found is that the intermittent fasting group lost 3.5 pounds of fat, whereas the regular diet group, they essentially didn't lose anything at all. They didn't lose any fat. And so that shows you how powerful that intermittent fasting combined with some weight training is, because you're able to lose the fat. So there's a group of 34 men, they were essentially all doing the same type of weight training. They're essentially going and eating the same type of meals, but yet the group that was intermittent fasting, combining all their meals within an 8-hour period, they were able to lose the fat, whereas the other group wasn't. So very powerful for losing fat. Let's talk about how to go about doing this. Now, for the best results, you must be in the fasted state. So just to be clear, I'm not talking about doing intermittent fasting and also weight training. I'm talking about doing the weight training in the fasted state. Now, you want to work out towards the end of your fast. So if you're doing the 16 and 8 intermittent fasting, you're going to be wanting to work out in that 15th, 16th hour. Now, if you're someone who is going and doing OMAD, then you're going to be wanting to push it back even further. It's ideal that you work out towards the end of your fasted state, and I'll tell you why in a second here. Now, using a pre-workout. Some people ask, well, Dr. Zarowski, should I use a pre-workout? And the answer is, when you're doing weight training, in many cases, it's very beneficial. I personally use a pre-workout. I'll use black coffee, or I'll actually use a pre-workout that is going to give me energy during the workout. I'll put a link to the pre-workout that I use in the description below here, but black coffee works well too, because it gives you that caffeinated boost, and during that workout, you're able to just, from that boost from the caffeine, have some more muscle uptake and actually have some energy to get through it. And that's one of the troubles that you can come into when you're doing weight training and fasting, is that you can walk into the workout a little bit fatigued. Now, the next here is really important for post-workout. Now, if you want to really build muscle, I like to use essential amino acids. I don't like to use branched chain amino acids. I'm being very specific towards essential amino acids because the essential amino acids have the whole spectrum of amino acids in it, and it's very much going to support muscle growth. So that's what I like to do post-workout, post-fast, okay? Use those essential amino acids to kind of just feed those muscle groups in order to actually build them. Now, the next thing here is after the workout, we want to activate mTOR. Now, mTOR is this protein kinase that when activated essentially means that you're able to build muscle. In order for mTOR to be activated, we need to give ourselves a little bit of an insulin boost. Now, when we are using the essential amino acids post-workout, we're going to get a little bit of an insulin spike from that. But also, I'm going to recommend that you're going to eat post-workout, okay? So after you get done working out, you go and you have your first meal. And that's why I recommend pushing the workout towards the end of the fast. And so you have your first meal and you give yourself a little bit of an insulin spike from that first meal, from the essential amino acids. You activate that mTOR. It's going to promote muscle growth, and it's all going to work in combination in order to help you get the results that you want for building muscle while doing intermittent fasting. Now, the other thing is I like to eat my carbs at a very specific time. Okay, so if you're doing intermittent fasting and you're like on a low carb diet, for instance, I like to actually take those carbs and eat them right at the time that I'm breaking my fast, when I have that first meal, because those carbs can be utilized in order to help build muscle. They can be utilized in a much more productive manner than if we're just pushing the carbs back to, the later end of our eating window. So take those carbs, put them right at the workout so that they can actually help you build muscle. And then also take a multivitamin and fish oil. Multivitamins are going to make sure the body has what the body needs in the way of nutrients, but the fish oil is also research proven to help build and stimulate muscle growth as well. So we want to make sure that we're doing that. Now, the next thing here is consume sufficient calories. And this is very important because when we get into people who are doing intermittent fasting or one meal a day, one of the problems we can run into is that they start to actually cut back on their calories. They're not getting enough protein. They're not getting enough just calories in general. And what happens is they start to lose muscle. There's actually studies out there that show that people went and lost muscle when doing intermittent fasting and working out simply because they weren't consuming enough calories. So we have to make sure that we're consuming enough calories when we're shortening up our eating window. Otherwise, the whole idea of building muscle just isn't going to really happen. Now, also, one of the things I don't have here is that when you're trying to build muscle, you need to push hard in the gym. Once again, I see so many people who go to the gym just week after week. I show up there every single week and I see the same people who never see any progress. They never make any progress. They're never any bigger and never any smaller. They just remain the same. So when it comes to building muscle, you have to push hard. It's best if you're actually doing lower reps and lifting heavier weights. Make sure that you're giving it your all on those lower reps and lifting as heavy as you can in order to really stimulate that muscle growth and build muscle. So here's how I use intermittent fasting and muscle growth techniques all combined together in order to help me gain lean muscle mass. So for more tips on training while fasted, be sure to check out this video I did up here on it. And then other than that, share this video with your friends so that they know that they can actually build muscle while doing intermittent fasting. Share it with them. And if you have any questions, put it in the comment section here below. Give this video a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate that as well. And check out my other videos on how you can improve your health. I'll see you in the next video.